Hello, Capricorn Sun, Taurus Rising. It is time for your year ahead reading. But we're going to start off with a little bit of astrology first. Now, with that Taurus Rising, that means rising is kind of how other people see you or the part of you that you show easily to the world, to those who don't know you necessarily. Taurus is an earth element and Capricorn are earth elements, but Taurus is a fixed sign, which means they can be very firm in their decisions, in their opinions. Um, they also tend to be somebody who, I want to say the word sensual related to them. They appreciate quality. They appreciate the finer things in life. They're ruled by Venus. Your chart ruler, therefore, is Venus. So you may have a focus on quality over quantity, on the things that bring you pleasure over things to have just to have them. Your home is your nest, it is your sanctuary kind of vibe going on here, and very comforting and even welcoming to those around you. People may like to come over to your house to hang out, even though sometimes you like to have time alone to just enjoy your space. Now, with that Taurus rising, that means your sun is most likely in the ninth house. The ninth house is a house of foreign travel or long distance travel. It is the house of religion and philosophy and higher education. And with Capricorn there, which is ruled by Saturn, you may have had a very serious focus, or you are very focused and a taskmaster and somebody. When you're ready to do something, when you're committed to something, you follow through on it. You're also an initiator, though, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So it's your idea, your decision to do certain things. When you're choosing a place to go, you're the one who's going to initiate travel, probably, for your family, and the one who comes up with the plan and does the research and figures out where we want to go. You're the one who maybe chose your college if you went to that. If you decided to go for that, you're the one who did the research on that to decide what it is you want to do, which college you would want to go to, which subjects you want to take, if the degree is worth it or not for what your end goals are. That would be something you would have dug into potentially very much. All right, now let's get into your cards. I'm going to label these cards 1 through 12 as I'm reading them, which I do for all signs, and for you uniquely because yours starts in January 2025. Just happens to line up with the months. So, month 1, there we go. All right, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, and month 6. So the first 6 months up here. Then we have month 7, month 8, month 9, month 10, month 11, month 12, and then on the back of the deck, you have the Knight of Coins. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to turn on another light. Okay, that's a little bit better. So one of the first things I look at when I'm looking at an overall spread are how many court cards you have, because those can indicate some pretty significant shifts in how we view the world, on how we respond to things, on what we believe in. So you have 1 with the Hanged Man. You have the Death card, so that's 2. You have the World card, that's 3. You have Temperance, that's 4. And they're pretty evenly spaced out, 1 per quarter, essentially. So every quarter of this year, there's going to be some shift in your opinion on something or how you view something, your take on a recipe. It could be even as simple as that, but it's going to shift how you do something again. Your perspective is going to change, or you're going to grow beyond something. Maybe you just find yourself pulling away from certain things because you're interested in newer things, and what you were interested in before just no longer feels right or aligned with you. The next thing I look at are court cards. Good court cards can indicate other people, which would have a significant influence on you in that particular month. So we have the Knight, so 1, a Page, that's 2. So just 2 months here where other people may significantly impact you in that month. That's pretty good. That means the most of your focus this year is going to be on yourself, your needs, your goals. So let's get into the cards themselves. On the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Coins. Coins is the equivalent of an earth element. And the Knights, okay, so this I guess is your third court card. Knights are ambitious, and out to gain experience. So this would be considered somebody maybe just graduated college. So they have a degree, they have the certificate, they read the book, they watched the movie. Whatever it is, they have the knowledge, they have the theory of how things should work figured out, but they have no experience yet. So they're out there gaining experience. They're running into trouble along the way. They're failing. They're finding out that not everything goes by the book, that life is nuanced and people are nuanced and every situation can vary. So they're picking up that experience as they go, making mistakes again, but then getting up and trying again. And the coin card or earth elements move a little slower. They're much more methodical about their processing. They're still out there and eager to gain the experience, but they're going to do it one step at a time, which can be frustrating to others around them. But this may be something that aligns with you because you have both Taurus and Capricorn in your chart, which are both earth element. You're fine in that kind of chill, take your time, figuring it out zone because it counts for long term. You want a deep understanding of things, not necessarily a surface level, and then figure out the depth later. You want to dive deep in now or as you're learning. So the Knight of Coins, they're going to try one thing, assess how that worked, what did, what didn't, tweak it a little bit, and then try again, and then do that assessment again before they make the next step and the next plan. So this might actually work out with you. So if there's somebody in your life, maybe you have somebody who is in this kind of energy around you throughout this year, working along with you in a way, or this could be your energy. It could represent you gaining experience in something that is new to you. Maybe you've recently decided to switch up careers, or maybe you are coming off of a year where you went and got a certification or you learned about something new that you want to try to incorporate into your schedule, into your life in some way that's going to benefit you with work, finances, or home life, which are kind of the areas that the earth elements revolve around. Think of your Venus placement, your Venus chart ruler, quality over quantity, the practical things, practical everyday things. You don't need a lot, but what you do have, you want to have it be meaningful. And I think that's what this is the pursuit of here, whether that is in any of those areas. So you're on a journey. Now let's get into the individual months. Here in month 1, we have the Knight of Wands. So secondary knight, but this time in wands. Wands are a fire element, so it's very passionate, very active, lots of movement, rushing headlong into the experiences, one after the other. They'll rush, 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 crash, and then rush again, and then crash and push again until they figure it out, until they force their way through the learning. It is not necessarily a pretty path, but it is the path that works for them. It's the best way that they can do things. But it could be very frustrating for you because you're not moving along at that same pace. You're wanting to have them slow down. They're getting impatient because they want you to speed things up. So there may be some conflicts here with this person in this month. Maybe you're partnered up with them on a project or something, and you're going to have to bring that grounding energy to the project. And maybe you're the one who comes up with the initial plan and helps this person stay on track, but still do something that gives them the freedom to explore maybe some creative solutioning or something like that as part of the project that allows them to use up that energy in service of whatever the goal is that the both of you have. So if you're experiencing some tension with someone like that, just recognize that is what works for them, for their energy, for the way that they manifest things. Whereas yours is a little bit different than that. Yours is much more stable, much more thought out, much more methodical. So you're the one probably bringing that, again, grounding energy, the stability to the project, where they're off coming up with these really creative, brilliant solutions maybe to certain problems that then you can take and incorporate into the overall plans and when that could make sense to add in and so on. Together, you guys are building, it could create something really, really phenomenal. But you are going to have patience with them, and they're going to have to find a way to stick to the overall schedule. But again, they're still going to need the ability to move at their pace, which is a little quicker. So they may be coding. That's where my experience is. So they may be working on, what do I want to say? Coming up with a code, solutioning, doing something, trying different things along the way until they find what works. It's going to be phenomenal, whatever they come up with. It's going to work flawlessly, but they need to put together this piece of code, test it until it fails, figure out why it failed, make some adjustments and tweaks, test it until it gets to another fail point, then make more tweaks, that kind of thing. It's iterative, like real-time iterative development or life processing. That's how they work. You can give them the framework within which to do that and make them stick to the schedule. But recognize they need that freedom of flow. Okay. That was a lot for that month. Month 2, we have more wand energy, and this time it's the 5. 5s in general are challenges. They are there to test you to see if you've really learned a lesson, if you're really ready to move up or on to the next thing. But the 5 of Wands in particular is indicating some sort of competition, competing for some goal. Everybody wants the same thing here. The best way that you can do this, the best way that you can push through the challenge is to focus on your work. Focus on what it is that you do and not let yourself get distracted by what anybody else is doing around you. Focus on what it is you have to contribute, because everybody else would be happy to have you distracted and off your game and submitting something that's subpar for you, because then they win and you lose every time. So focus on your work, make it quality work, let it live up to your standards. And don't worry about what anybody else is doing. They have their standards. They have their methods of doing things. Yours needs to be true to you. You need your quality and your attention to detail to pull this through for you. So don't get distracted by anybody else. Focus on what it is that you have to contribute. And that's how you win. That's how you overcome the challenge. And then here in month 3, the end of this first quarter, we have the Hanged Man. This is a major arcana card, and this is telling you that the lesson to be learned here out of this card is found in the silence, in the spaces between, reading between the lines kind of thing. The Hanged Man has put themselves into a willful state of suspension, where they are not taking any actions, they are not making any decisions, they are on pause. They are observing the things that are going on and learning through observing. Maybe taking notes, but not acting on anything at this time. So this is kind of a month where you want to pull back and maybe let things flow around you. Well, you just observe, you take notes, you do your thing, but not anything new, not anything super active. It's also not a month where you're going to be making any decisions. You're letting things play out as they are. And I think what is the lesson in here with the Hanged Man is that sometimes you do have to take that step back. Sometimes you do have to let things play out as they are. Sometimes you do have to maybe let things fail and not jump in to fix them or rescue them. Because there's a silver lining even within that. It's something that can be weeded out just by letting things play out. That's where a lot of attention, the correct attention, can get on it and have it resolved by the people who should be responsible for doing that. So don't take ownership of things this month. Don't become the one responsible for doing something that someone else should be owning and does own. There's a little bit of stay in your lane this month, which is not going to be typical for you, but there is a need to hold back, to recognize that sometimes you need to hold back. that sometimes you can't be the savior, the one who fixes it. You could come in afterward, but for this month at least, you need to recognize or find wisdom in inaction, which may be tough for you a little bit, but you got to let it play out the way that it's going to go. And then in month 4, we have the Two of Wands. You have a lot of fire energy because there's another wand here and then one at the end of the year. So you have a lot of active energy up here in the first half of the year for sure. So the Two of Wands. Twos can be about commitment, connections. Two of Wands in particular is a dreaming about the future, making plans, trying to decide what it is you want to do next. Really just brainstorming and having fun with that part of it. Not even getting too deep into the detailed planning, maybe coming up with some general planning, such as taking a trip. Where do you want to go? It should be someplace that you really want to go, that you're passionate about, that gets you excited, that really feeds into your imagination or feels really creative, like it may be a creative outlet for you. Maybe you want to take up some new hobby, so you're looking into it and looking at different patterns and seeing different things that you'd love to do. And maybe it's tactile and it's really, again, I'm feeling a really creative project here too. But there's the joy of thinking about it, of planning it, of brainstorming. Not, again, not deep planning, not detailed planning, but how would you go about it? When would you go about it? Maybe you're looking up to see if there's any classes in the area. What nights are there? Is that something you could make work? How much are they? Do you have the tools you would need to get started? What else would you need to get started? And so on and so forth. But there's a sense of anticipation and excitement and a little bit antsy and anticipatory. Haha, how's that? Anticipatory energy. So ride that and enjoy it and have fun with it. And then in month 5, we have the Page of Wands. Still in that dang wand energy, huh? It could be that you're dealing too with a lot of fire signs, or at least a couple different ones here in the first 6 months, and those would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The Page of Wands is a younger energy than even the Knights. Pages come before Knights. So this is before they get the degree, before they read the book, before they take the lessons. They just want to just go experience. They have an idea in their head of what they want to do, but they have zero idea of what that entails, how to get there, or what, anything. Now this could actually be you after month 4, jumping into whatever this is in month 5, with no idea what you're doing, how you're going to get there, and just having fun with the experience, just taking some actions and pursuing whatever it is that's got you excited. That could be you taking those first steps into this thing that has you super intrigued and curious and excited. And I think that's what this is your energy here. Yeah, no, that's what I'm feeling. Like you can't wait to get started. You did look up some classes, and maybe right at the beginning here of month 5, you sign up for the classes, or they happen to find a class near you, and they happen to have an opening, so you impulsively sign up for it and just attend the class. But maybe you don't have everything you need because you signed up for it so late, so you have to do some last minute shopping, or maybe they have a packet available that you can purchase for the supplies, so you have to get it there while you're in class, and you don't even know what maybe the mediums are, so you're just winging it. It's a month of winging it, but having fun with it and feeling exhilarated by it. I'm totally feeling that kind of vibe here. Alternatively, this is somebody else in your life who's having that kind of energy right now, and you are all for it. You are excited about it with them. But you're also more practical, and you want to make sure they have the budget. Do they have the things they need? Do they have all the do they know what they need in order to do this? Is it something they can commit to on a weekly, monthly, whatever benefit for however long the sessions go for? So you may be trying to put the brakes on them a little bit and try and help give them some guidance, but I feel like this is more you, or at least you're almost excited as they are about this thing. and you don't want to stifle that energy, but at the same time, you want to make sure there's some structure around it. And then in month 6, we have the Death card, another major arcana card at the end of quarter 2. The Death card is more about transformation. It is the end of one thing. It is the end of something. You may even know what it is. Maybe you're retiring, and this is the month that you retire and then start your retirement life. So it's endings and beginnings. Maybe you're graduating college and getting your degree this month. So now it's the end of school, and now and the beginning of whatever your next step is, or the next thing that you're doing, the next phase of your life. So it's the ending of one cycle and the beginning of something new, the beginning of the next cycle. I don't feel anything negative around this. It feels, again, more like this whole fire and wand energy, where there's a sense of anticipation and excitement and active participation. And then we move down here to month 7 with the 2 of coins. 2s, again, can be about connections, commitment. In this case, the 2 of coins is going to be about finding balance amongst all the things that you want to do. Your commitments. Work, commitment to work, commitment to your hobby, commitment to work, commitment to home life. You want to make sure you're maintaining a balance. Otherwise, you're going to be so focused in one area, you're not going to have enough energy to contribute to the other areas, and something is going to slip or be neglected or somehow get behind, and then you'll feel like you can't catch up. So it's very important here in month 7 to make sure you're paying attention to what it is you're committing yourself to, and make sure you're not over-committing. Or if you do overcommit it, recognize that and shift some things. Ask if they can be moved down the line, or maybe you just have to say, no, I can't this month, because you need to respect your own energetic needs. Pay attention and make it work. Be willing to say no and be willing to cancel if needed in order to maintain that balance. And maybe that's preparing you for the next month too. So month 8 is the World card. This is the last card in the major arcana. This is the end of the journey and the start of the next. It's the end of one significant cycle of your life and the beginning of the next phase, or the end of one phase and the beginning of a next phase. This goes back where it's similar to the Death card, but it's much broader. So it could be something like not just graduating. Maybe you're graduated and you're moving to a new area. And then you're starting a new job. So you graduate here and then you move. So it's the end of your student phase and the end of living it wherever you were before phase. So now you're living alone or on your own or responsible for your own bills kind of thing. And then your next phase is that work career phase. So it's something like that where there's some significant changes, maybe more than one area, coming together to completion or getting closure on it. And then you start the next phase that flows out of that closure. So this is a month where there's transition going on. There are changes, significant changes. Maybe there's actually a move. Maybe it's a literal career move from one company to another, or retirement. Maybe you sold your home and this is the month you close on the home and move down to another state. Whatever this is, it's significant enough that it's going to be the large part of the month. Is significant impact here. And this changes how you do things, right? Because you're going, if we continue with the school example, you're going from the life of a college student to the life of, now I don't want to say an everyday person, but from a focus on studies to a focus on career and making money and paying the bills and supporting yourself fully if you're not already. So it's a significant life shift. And then in month 9, we have the 2 of Cups. So back in that 2 energy, commitment, connections. The 2 of Cups are a water element. This has to do with our emotions and intuition. This is meeting another person that you really connect with, that really you vibe with. The emotional connections feels very strong. Now, this could be a business partner, it could be a friendship, it could be a romance. The key here, though, is don't just jump right in, even though it does feel like it. You can just do that. This is the month where you can take time to get to know each other, see if your interests actually align, see if your skills align, see if your senses of humor align, your visions for the future. Is this something that really does have the potential to be a long term thing? Or is it something that's more short term, temporary, transitional? Give yourself a little bit of time to really explore it before you commit yourself 100% right out of the gate. That's the vibe I'm getting here. But there is the excitement and the anticipation of spending time with this new person and getting to know them. So there is still that joy and a little bit of flirtation, but just the energy that you two have together, which is very nice. And then we start quarter 3 with the Temperance card. This also kind of goes back to the 2 of coins here. Temperance is about balance too. It's about it's anti-excesses, if that makes sense. It's also a card of alchemy. Converting something from one thing to another. Converting some sort of emotions from maybe regrets and things like that. Something you regret from the past, something that maybe was a pain point in the past, something you have always hated about yourself, up until this month when you recognize the strength and insight it gives you. So you're going from maybe shame or anger or something like that, or just about something you don't like about yourself is what this thinks about, to recognizing what that does for you, that aspect of yourself that you think is the shadow part of you that you hate, that you're afraid of, that you fear, gives you some sort of benefit. And there is that recognition of that this month, which changes your perspective of it and gives you a new appreciation for that part of yourself and how it supports you and how it protects you when needed and how it helps you drive or give you additional drive when needed under certain circumstances. So it's recognizing that your shadows are your friend, not your enemy, kind of energy that I'm getting here. It's the alchemy of changing that emotional attachment to that. And that's what I'm getting off of this card for you. In month 11, we have the 7 of coins. Back into the earth element again, back into that ground and more grounded energy. But the 7 of coins is still a point of analysis, evaluation, reviewing things probably over this previous year, what worked, what didn't work. What do I want to add on to my life? What do I need? What can I get rid of? What isn't working here? It's doing an analysis of your life, probably, again, the practical things. Maybe what you're doing is evaluating literally the things you have in your home. Maybe you want to bring in something fresh and new. So you're putting together the things that you're going to remove as you bring in the things that you love or the new things that you want to try. Or get more of the things that are working for you. Or maybe there's just a small tweak you need to make for something. A lot of times this card is associated, at least in the image, well, this one is too, with the garden. And the gardener assessing the crops, the state of the garden itself. Which things thrived, which things didn't. Do they need to add more fertilizer? Do they need to change out what they're planting? Maybe what they're planting isn't appropriate for the zone. Maybe they need to move something from full shade to partial shade in their place. So they're rearranging the plots and things like that and planning for the next year. It's an assessment of how things are going and what it is you want to do or change in the next year. A little bit of planning involved. I think you would like this. I enjoy this type of activity, even if I don't follow through on all of it. I still enjoy doing it. So have fun with it and really thoroughly think about things and be willing to make some significant changes. Be willing to cut some things out so that you can bring something new in that will thrive. And then in month 12, we have the Six of Wands. I love this as your ending card. Still in that fire energy, right? Ending the year with a bang as you started the year with a bang. But the Six of Wands in particular is a victory card. This is a card indicating success, that you won, that you are an inspiration to others. You are receiving accolades, praise, recognition for the work that you did, the successful work that you did. So this could be the culmination maybe of the project at the end of the year, and a celebration of your success and the success of the project overall, maybe due to your contributions to it. But don't shy away from that recognition. Take the flowers, say thank you, savor the recognition, and enjoy yourself. Celebrate. Let yourself celebrate this win. Let yourself celebrate the victories you've had over this year. And be willing. Be okay with being an inspiration to others. Does not mean that you need to take charge or help them figure things out. You just need to be who you are. Successful, smart, and Capricorn Taurus. And that is what I have for you, Capricorn Sun, Taurus Rising, for your year ahead. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below to let me know if this resonates with you or not. The YouTube algorithm appreciates it. And most of all, please subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.